Okay, I got my shit back. Let's continue on right over here. Remember to move a little quickly, because, step lively now. The item that we picked up, let's just jump down here, and secret bonfire. Unlike the other area where I jumped off to my death, I saw another message right here that said, try jumping, and I said, you know what, I shouldn't do it, but I'll do it, I'll try it, and I tried jumping and I found this bonfire, so there you go. Sometimes people are dicks, sometimes they're nice. That's the way of the world, right? Anyway, now that we have this bonfire and the cage is unlocked, we're pretty much good to go in Sen's Fortress, and you can wander around as you please. I'll mention the item that I picked up from the Mimic, which I forgot to show, is, if I can find it, a lightning spear. And this is just a regular spear, just like this one, but it has been infused with lightning. And we're going to be able to do that after a little while in Anor Londo. Not in the next couple of episodes, because that's going to take too much time. But in the lightning upgrade, you'll notice that the parameter bonuses are gone. It goes from a D and a C to nothing. And it doubles the damage, from 144 physical to, and it just adds the 144 lightning onto it. And this is actually a pretty darn good weapon at this point in the game. And you can defuse it, not defuse it. I was like the opposite of infuse, defuse, I don't know. You can unmodify it down at Andre Astora's and bring it back to just a basic plus 10 spear. So that's pretty good. Although if you're at this point in the game, you probably have a plus 10 weapon or know how to get it at the very least. Now let's continue on with this area because we're still not done. There's a lot of cool stuff that we can find, and one of them is a Knight of Berenique. We were not able to... it's been quite a while since we've seen a Knight of Berenique, but they were the giant knight just before the elevator in the Undead Parish. Large Soul of the Brave Warrior. On the way back to Firelink Shrine, next to the first Firekeeper soul we get. 2 large shards, excellent. Notice the black scorch marks on here. Step lively, move when you're getting down here. And this Knight of Berenique is obviously big and tough, just like the other one. Probably tougher, I'm guessing. And he can drop his armor. You'll notice wearing the steel set that the undead, that the Crestfallen Warrior over there is wearing. However, this guy seems a lot bigger and stronger than the Crestfallen Warrior. So I don't know what's going on there. A Great Axe? What? I got nothing on. I've never seen him drop a Great Axe before. I thought he dropped a large Titanite shard sometimes. I have no idea. That the next guy that's coming up here is one badass mofo. He is the Knight Ricard the Archer. And he has a very unique weapon, a rapier that we are going to be getting and probably using in a later episode. But he is also pretty tough. He can parry you. He has the elite knight armor. He has a good bow. He's a strong guy, so let's see if we can bum rush him. Come on, motherfucker. Come on, you want some of this? Bam, motherfucker. Oh, you can't parry pyromancy, can you, boy? Can you? You want to parry that? Yeah, I don't think so. And Ricard, we can read about it in the description of his rapier here, is a rapier with intricate decorations, chosen weapon of the infamous undead Prince Ricard. Ricard's exploits are told in a monomyth. He was born into royalty but wandered the lands in a fateful, ill-conceived journey. He became undead and disappeared up north. That is truly a magnificent weapon, and it has a really cool moveset, which I will show you here briefly. It has the basic thrust of the rapier, but the strong attack is you do that little dueling thing, and it just looks so badass. It's amazing. It's a really cool weapon, has excellent scaling for dex, although you do need 20 dex to use it, so it's pretty much a dex-only weapon. And up here we have a Divine Blessing, I believe, useless item. Don't bother with it. But also we can get a rare Ring of Sacrifice. That is an item that has a very important use much, much, much later on in the game. However, you should just know for this point that you should come by here and pick it up. If not for killing Prince Ricard, the archer, then to get that item, which is vitally important for something else much later in the game. Now let's pop back up here and go have a chat with that fellow that is dropping those nasty grenades down at us, or bombs, whatever you want to call them. Because he is not getting on my good side by doing this. I can tell you that right now. The giants, by the way, are susceptible to bleed damage, as we noticed in the last episode, though that can take away a good chunk of their health. This guy has the same attack that the giant with the chain in the last episode had. He is also, he's sort of like the channeler in the depths, in that he will throw bombs down on you as you're trying to fight the boss of this area, and make that boss 10 times harder. The boss of this area is actually very easy. However, if you have this guy heaving these explosive boulders down on you, it makes it like 1,000 times harder. This area is a lot smaller, so it's much easier to get caught up in his tantrum attack. But hopefully, 3, 4, yes. Be wary about this, using this staircase as a hidey hole, because the amount of damage that he can do is actually quite exceptional close to that door. It sort of radiates outward around it and can really damage you, even if you're standing like down here or something. I learned that to my cost. Titanite chunk, vitally important if we want to get our weapons up from 10 to 11 and beyond. And it's so fun. Look at this. Again, the devil is in the details, and the fact that you can roll through these is great. Although I don't understand why there's nothing inside them. You assume that there would be pitch or something inside them because they explode. Why are they empty? That bothers me. That is the boss of the area over there. What is his name? The Iron Golem. And that's pretty cool that you can just come and look at this guy over here. That's pretty neat. He's just kind of standing around there. He has a gigantic axe that actually has a ranged attack. It sort of radiates out this blast of energy that can hurt you. But yeah, this really cool, this enemy over here. However, he's not that difficult. He's not really very tough. There is a little bit more to do in this area, though. We still have a few more things to go get. However, they are not terribly useful things, so I would not really... You don't have to bother doing this. And that giant, by the way, is dead forever. He does not come back. And there are also... I forgot to mention there are boulder knights here. You can get the boulder shield in this area. There are other boulder knights wandering around here. There is one that is straight down there. But there's no point to going down there. There's nothing down there as far as I remember. So we are not going to go down there. What we will do, however... This is the guy, by the way, that's throwing the rocks that are moving throughout the machines in the level. Killing him tragically will not give you a Titanite chunk. So I don't see much purpose to going over there and killing this guy, really. So let us... I hope we have enough health to do this. Pop down here, we do, and get the sniper crossbow. The sniper crossbow is a pretty interesting weapon. It sort of looks like... let's see... We can two-hand this, thankfully, which is very nice. And we can't aim with it, though, which is sort of ridiculous, although we can kind of aim with this, the binoculars. And the theory behind this is, let me show you this here. Large crossbow with distance used by Karim snipers, often used with sniper bolts, but crossbows are normally easy to use. The sniper crossbow requires dexterity. So you do need 16 dexterity to use it, along with a small amount of strength. If you're two-handed, that's a small amount of strength. I don't think that it is an especially good weapon. I've heard of people who have figured out a way to use it with the binoculars and the sniper arrows, the sniper bolts that go along with it, to hit enemies at great distance, but I don't know about that. I don't know if that's really very useful. It's a tragedy and a crime that they did not make crossbows more useful in this game. Okay. This might be an area also to farm the boulder stuff. Titanite shard. There's another boulder knight here and a ring. I don't really need to get this ring because it's useless, but I'll just show it to you anyway. It is the fire flame plate, or the flame stone plate ring. That's what it's called. But these rings, as I mentioned earlier, are pretty useless. But I'll just show you that it's down here because it's so close. And I think, believe it or not, we are just about ready to wrap up Sen's Fortress. I don't think there's much of anything that we missed, not that I can think of off the top of our head. Oh wait, I forgot to talk about the lower part of this area, that area where I fell into and died earlier after getting knocked off. That area, that pit area, is filled with 4 Titanite demons. I mentioned this in the last episode. And it is filled with sucking mud on the ground, so you need the rusted iron ring to move properly. And it does not really contain very much of any great value. There were 2 items by one of the Titanite demons where we fell. One of the items was a scythe, which is inferior to the great scythe. So, you know, if you're going to use a scythe, there's no reason to use that one, the weaker one, versus the good scythe, you know, the great scythe. So, why bother? And also, there is a, I think just a soul item next to it, like a soul of a proud knight or something like that. However, you may want to go down there, and I sometimes have, to farm the Titanite demons if you were trying to upgrade a weapon that is a boss soul weapon, because the boss soul weapons are upgraded with demon Titanite. So, and that's not really in great supply. You can get a couple of them before Sen's Fortress, and then 4 here, a couple of them in Orlando. I think you can sort of gradually get enough in the game to fully upgrade 1 boss soul weapon. Although, maybe there's more that you could get. Those Titanite demons down there do not respawn, so you can get 1 demon Titanite each. There is a demon Titanite much later in the game in Lost Islet that does respawn, and you can farm Titanite from it, but that's a story for another day. This is Iron Tarkus, one of the knights mentioned earlier on by the Crestfallen Warrior. He is absolutely beastly, he is super tough, he's badass, he's really strong, and he's just all around a cool guy, with his great shield, his great sword, his great ass. Oh, wait, I forget I said that last part. Anyway, let's pop over to the boss door. And really, Iron Tarkus is going to be taking this one for us. He is going to be winning this fight for us. Just know that in order to avoid his projectile attack, jump or left, move right and then jump left to get out of its way, if you need to. You see, he's going to hit us with his projectile. Move out of the way. Yeah, and Tarky got hit there, but we're okay. One of the great things is you can just run through its legs, like this. He will hopefully aggro on Tarkus. You see, we're only doing 45 damage to this guy. He can also, as you can see now, do a grab attack, which is very, very dangerous. And during that grab attack's animation, he cannot be hit, which is kind of shit, I think. I don't like that he can't be hit during it, If we were frickin' doing something, it's not like they would make us invulnerable. Look at that. I can't even hit him for a while. Don't crap out on me now, Tarky. Oh my god, Tarkus almost has half his health gone. I guess the Iron Giant, the Golem heard me smack-talking him. Oh shit, I may have to come back. The Golem heard me smack-talking him, and now he's taking his revenge. Hopefully we can just last until the... Stop with that. Stop with that grab attack. What the hell, man? He's just going crazy for that. Tarkus might actually die for the first time spamming it again. I can't believe this. Tarkus may die for the first time ever. This is shocking. I don't know what to say, guys. Tarkus, no! No! Oh boy, I might have to come back. Shit! Tarkus is actually dead. I can't believe that. Oh boy, what am I gonna do now? This weapon is very fragile. I don't like what this is doing to the durability. Hope he doesn't do that darn grab attack. I hate that. The armor that he has after we beat him is actually... we're dead. Is actually available at Dumn Hall of Xena. Oh, we're alive? That's shocking. Uh-oh. Miss me. I'm kind of waiting for him to do his epic fail, but he's not. Oh no, there it is. There it is. Good. He can get stuck in the ground, just like he's doing now, and fall over. Which makes him kind of a joke. And I thought he was going to do that much earlier. I don't know what triggers that, if anything. Or maybe you just have to get lucky. Because I've never had Tarkus die during this fight. I feel so bad for him. You know, he truly is he's a hero. He's really a hero. And the fact that he just died is so sad. Ugh. I hate that moves backwards but still hits you thing. The Golem in Demon Souls did that too, and it was much more annoying in that game. Come on, boy. Come on over here. However, it was much more annoying in that game, but I cannot think now I'm fighting. I'm sorry. Sorry about the lack of commentary there. It was much more annoying in that game than it is in this game. In this game, it's really not that bad. It barely did any damage at all, where in that game it could kill you. So I don't know what to say. Every time I say that the game does this, it seems to radically jump off in another direction for the first time in the past 15 playthroughs or something. But I'm afraid that is going to be it for the end of this episode. I'm shocked Tarkus died. And now we have the ability... They look like faces over there, don't they? It's kind of weird. Huh. And now we have the ability to examine this golden ring of light and watch a cutscene. This is Anor Londo, City of the Gods. The home of Lord Gwyn at one point, and one of probably the greatest city in all of Lordran. Look at this. It's absolutely beautiful up here. That was an incredible sequence. We were in the Great Walled City of the Gods. We started this a few episodes ago in Hell, in the pit, in the demon ruins, and we're ending it in heaven, in the kingdom of the gods. Absolutely gorgeous. Incredible. Well, I'm just about done. I will continue on through Enter Orlando in the next level. Until then, praise the sun. Hey everybody. Just before we end this episode, I had to leave heaven and take a trip all the way down back to the pit of hell. We are back in Blighttown because there are a couple of things that we need to take care of. One of those things, the most important of the three, is over here. Maybe three. We'll see what happens. I did not discover this the first time I played, not of my own accord. It was during my first playthrough, but it was because I had read about it online much later on in the game. But a new NPC will spawn over in this area right now after you have defeated Quelaag and you have upgraded your pyromancy flame to at least +10. You can go over here and talk to this new person. Let's talk to her.
A mere undead, yet you can see me. Fascinating. I am Quelana of Izalith. I am not often revealed to walkers of flesh. You have a gift. Are you too one who seeks my pyromancy, like Salomon? Yes, of course. It should be expected. Very well. You shall be my pupil, but to pursue my pyromancy, you must give something up. Are you prepared to do this? Long ago, I accepted another pupil like yourself. Over 200 years ago, there was a man almost as bungling as you. In your world, he was called Salomon, the master pyromancer. The little rascal really made something of himself. Pyromancy is the art of invoking and manipulating fire. But remember one thing. Always fear the flame, lest you be devoured by it and lose yourself. I would hate to see that happen again. Pyromancy, I would hate.
Now, Quelana is apparently one of the Chaos Witches, one of the daughters of Izalith. And what exactly she's doing down here, I'm not sure. You can see her hand there that she is indeed human. She is not a hollow. Presumably she is undead. It's just that she's, using some humanity to trick us, but who knows? I mean, she's not a human, so maybe the laws that we understand don't apply to her. But what exactly she's doing down here, I can't really say. We do know that she is related in some way to a quest we're eventually going to have to do to find the Witch of Izalith, and she talks about seeing pyromancy cause you to lose your mind and hurt you, and apparently that's what happened to the Witches of Izalith and helped to spawn the demons in the hellish demon ruins and Lost Izalith that we know about. So we're going to learn a lot more about her a little bit later on. I also want to point out, if you notice here, she's not wearing shoes, and you are not wearing shoes when you wear the armor that you can get near Ceaseless Discharge. It's a little bit annoying to come and talk to her because you can see up there, those mosquitoes spawn again, and if you're standing in the exact wrong place, I've had them come and attack me while I was trying to talk to her. And they continually respawn, so there's nothing you can really do about it. You just have to hope they don't see you, like what's happening here. You also can be poisoned while you're talking at her. You notice my health was going down quite a bit. But let us continue here. She can modify your pyromancy flame, and uniquely, she can modify it past +15. The other two trainers we have, Iningi and Laurentius, can only modify it to +15. She can actually take it to +20. She also sells some unique pyromancy, which I'm going to buy here. She sells Great Combustion. This is one of the most useful spells in the entire game. We've already seen how effective regular combustion is, Well, this is incredibly powerful. This can shred some bosses in the game. If because it's just so easy to use. You don't really need to direct it. You just sort of smash it out there and, you just puff it out there like this. I don't know exactly, like a fakir or something would do that with his puff of flame, and it is incredibly damaging with a powerful pyromancy glove. It's absolutely great. Now, if you take a look down here, she also sells some other spells. Fire Orb we can also get from Laurentius, and Combustion, but she sells Great Fireball, the most powerful of the Fireball spells until we get Great Chaos Fireball. Firestorm, a unique spell that causes huge pillars of flame to erupt around the caster at random, and it's very, very deadly, especially in PvP. Fire Whip, I'm not exactly all that familiar with, but Undead Rapport, that's an interesting spell that allows us to sort of control hollows, kind of. It's very, very peculiar. Charm undead and gain contemporary allies. Sort of like a necromantic sort of thing, because remember the undead, of which we were a part, are fascinated by fire. They carry torches sometimes. They're linked to the fire at bonfires. There's something about that sort of controls them and mesmerizes them. Notice here it says, the living are lured by flame, and this relationship is part and parcel to the art of pyromancy. Can be used by either gender. That must be an interesting holdover for something that did not make it into the game. Apparently, in Demon Souls, there were certain armor and I think weapons, maybe, that could only be used by either male or female characters. They got rid of that wisely in Dark Souls, because that was just an obnoxious nuisance that existed, and was really a detriment to the game. But fortunately, they got rid of it here, but apparently they were thinking about it late into the day, that there was going to be some, because remember, the Witches of Izalith are all female. There are no, presumably Ceaseless Discharge was, I guess, but we don't really know. But all the ones we see are female, so maybe women can only do certain things with the spells, and it made it into the game in this brief way. I don't know why they didn't take it out. It must have been a mistake. But we're going to leave her for now. She's going to be a very important character through this game. But let us head over here and take care of this person. And maybe we can get out our... What do we need? Purple moss clump to get rid of that obnoxious... And grab our soul here and talk to Shiva. And we already got a lot of this stuff, but I'm going to grab an Uchigatana, I think. And that'll be about it. I guess I can try to get the washing pole, although I don't really know if I want to use it. It's also got only 60 durability. That's pretty darn low. So I'm going to leave it at that and probably try to kill these guys. I don't know how this is going to go, but we'll see. You probably want to take on his bodyguard first, which I think will be a little bit easier if we do this. Yes! Whew. I kind of got lucky there. Okay. Let's see if we can parry you. Nope, apparently not. Oh, you can parry him. I'm just not very good at it. Let's try it again. Yes! Boom-bam! So now we got the Murakumo and the Iron Round Shield. Let me see about the Murakumo. Where are you? There you are. and I can't even dual wield this. I'm gonna have to get my strength up a little bit if I want to use this. This is not a terrible weapon. It's just got a weird stat requirement with all of that strength, 28 to one hand, and yet it scales with dex. And you saw it has kind of an odd moveset. It seems a little bit too fancy for my taste. Like it kind of just, it's a little bit too, I don't know exactly what to call it. Like he's trying too hard with the weapon and not just trying to damage you. He's just doing this little elaborate dancing move. And you can see we also get a shield. This is a great shield, second really only to the boulder shield. And really equal, I mean, I'm going to say equal to the boulder shield, because it has a unique stability that is very high, even though it's only a regular shield. It's very, very good. I think it was 55, 65. Well, the boulder shield is a lot better, actually, but the iron round shield just looks really cool, too. And it also has, I think, 72 fire. Yeah, the resistances aren't great, but all in all, it's a pretty darn good shield, and I would recommend it. And we just have to do one more thing now by going up here. And unfortunately, we are almost certainly going to die because of this. And that is, we are going to come into contact with the toxic dart-throwing guys in order to obtain another Firekeeper's soul. And in order to do that, and well, we have to go up here. And I mentioned this when we went down here, why I wasn't going to go through here. But I wasn't specific as to why. The reason why we can't pick up this Firekeeper soul at that point in the game when I first went down to Blighttown is because for some reason, if you collect all 3 Firekeeper souls up to that point in the game, it triggers Lautrec to kill the Firekeeper as if you had rung both Bells of Awakening. So that's why you should never get all 3 of them that early, unless you're willing to give up that bonfire. There's also multiple of these guys hanging around, so it's especially troublesome. I'm almost toxic now. I think there's 3 of them, maybe? Yeah, 3 sounds about right. I think the shield blocked a significant amount of it. There's 2. Oh, I'm toxic. Come on. Oh, there's 4. I did not know there's 4. Okay. I'm probably going to get toxiced up again, but... No, we didn't. Good. We got lucky there. These darn mosquitoes are just waiting to come kill me. Alright, there we go. And if you look down there, I mentioned these a bunch of times in my Upper Blighttown episode, but we never ran into them. I don't understand what went on. These guys were supposed to be in Upper Blighttown in an area we were in, but for some reason they just never showed up. They're these tiny little red dogs that spew fire. And I got no idea why they didn't show up. This whole area actually looks pretty cool. I like the look of it. This almost looks like there should be a door here, but they kind of gave up on it and said, I'm not gonna, we're not gonna put a door there. Forget about it. I know what I said last time. Don't put a door. And, I mean, why the heck didn't these guys show up? I genuinely want to know that. It's like I screwed something up and they didn't spawn correctly. I really, I don't know. And right in there is the Firekeeper soul. But let's kill this guy first. And let's see here. 2 of them at once. Usually when I come down here, I don't bother killing the toxic guys. I just run down and get toxic and die. Or jump down here, grab this, and just get burned. And it's really interesting that there was a Firekeeper down here, apparently. What exactly she was doing down here, I don't know. And what bonfire she was supposed to keep, I don't know, because we don't see some sort of unlit bonfire anywhere. I can't quite tell what clothing she's wearing. I guess just the standard rags that all the corpses wear. But, oh well. And I think I'm just about ready to end the episode here. And yeah, I guess I am. Although if you take a look down there, you can just barely see it. I know you can't really see it. I'll try to maybe, we'll do something in the video. Just look in the wheel well there. That is one of the dogs standing in there that we just killed. Apparently they are enslaved or something, and they're forced to stand inside these things. I can't really get a good look at one, unfortunately. And they power the wheels. Can you see him there? The red guy? Yeah, I can get a good look here. Yeah, there he is. And he's actually moving around like in a treadmill, powering the wheel. That's a good way to end this episode. Just that one thing that you'll never notice until like your 20th playthrough.